want to start this the State of the Village for 2013. I want to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm going to ask my youngest son, who just turned 21, is able to, I don't know, I guess he's legal now, that's what it is. But I just want him to say the Pledge of, start, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I hope he didn't forget it. Ready? By the way, his name is Joseph. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
On that day we had the snowstorm. You know, I think that was a tragedy here in the village, and I just would like to take a moment to recognize those that died and those that were left homeless for their lives. Thank you. Again, I want to say thank you and welcome to the 2013 State of the Village Address. Thank you for that. You know, role models are most important in all of our lives. Most importantly, in the lives of our youth. When our youth become youth leaders, in essence, role models for each other, we are very blessed. It is with great pride that I take a moment to introduce a group of young people, young leaders in our community, and ask them to stand when I call their name. Amara Smith. She here. Lenzel Smith. I don't think they're ready. And John Flores Starr. And before I forget, I want to say also we have the Commissioner of Community Development, Claude Good, here with us also. Tonight, I would like to share with you, my neighbors, the following. My vision for our village, to highlight some of the progress that we've made over the last several years. And finally, I'd like to address some of the challenges before us and the manner in which we expect to address them in 2013 and beyond. By recognizing that it has been my mission to get the development of our downtown plan off the ground and up and running, I must say that the mission has been accomplished. We are now ready to transform our village not only into the commercial and transportation center of Nassau County once again, but to make it better than it ever was. The Main Street revitalization plan will bring with it some 10,000 construction jobs and other jobs, and 3,500 permanent jobs. It will bring economic stability, aid in attracting vital new industries, provide cultural and social amenities. It will strengthen our village tax base by bringing in almost $10 million in real property taxes, and also $25 million in school taxes. It is for that reason that I am committed to making this development a reality, and that I am in partnership with the board, have fought to engage the help of some of the most greatly respected and highly skilled developers in our nation, which is Renaissance Downtown and Urban America. As we move forward with this revitalization, I am committed to ensuring that our community benefits agreement that will ensure that our residents and village contractors are used to construct this project, and it is enforced. I will work hard to ensure that the folks that will be hired at all levels, both management and labor. One of the things with the job piece with the community benefit agreement, it will help change the odds for many of these young people by giving them a second chance under the agreement. The developer has committed to developing a job training program that will help to provide many of our young adults with the skills they need to get into construction and other trades. As a father of 2 young adult males, and as someone who has had to work to support his family, I understand the importance of having work. The sense of economic security it provides is key to a family's stability. But steady work, having a job, is just as critical to a person's sense of self-worth to the degree of purpose it adds to an individual's life. This is why I've made it a priority to reach out to the new developments going up in our village and to push them to interview our residents and hire them. We've talked about the common sense incentives for doing so, investing in a community from which you're benefit, developing a loyal workforce and local customers that are more likely to support your business because you are supporting them. Plus, it's a good corporate politics and reinvestment in the community relations. And at this time, I'd like to recognize Reginald Benjamin, who is the person that we have liaison going around getting our people jobs in these developments. Reginald Benjamin is in the back. Over the last year, we have been successful in getting a number of new housing developers to hire the hard-to-employ. We've outreached to folks to Conifer Twin Oaks, at Alma Gardens, and at 303 Main Street, to just to name a few, and really press them about hiring our folks. I'm pleased to say that we've seen some advancement at these developments, and we commend the management for working with us. But again, we're not satisfied, and we plan to continue pushing them to do more. Reverend Benjamin, who is here tonight, has acted as my administration liaison to many of the new developers, and we commend him for his diligence. A few weeks ago, he held a jobs workshop over at United Healthcare, in which participants met with downtown developers to talk about what the upcoming projects will be and exactly what they'll be looking for from their workers. The workshop was successful, and I was told today by the Federation of Labor that they will be here on March the 2nd for a jobs fair at the Academy Charter School right there on March the 2nd, which is my birthday. And so from the time 11 to 1, 11 to 2, 11 to 2. So as we move forward with the revitalization, I'm committed to ensuring that our community benefit agreement ensures that our residents and village contractors are used in this project. As we progress with the revitalization, I will continue to work hard to keep you informed about the development and to make sure that your input and feedback is part of this process. One of my key initiatives over the last couple of years, as many of you know, has been a campaign to block the opening of many bars or establishments that sell alcohol. Why? Why do you think that I would go out my way to do this? Because in Hempstead, we have 167 liquor establishments in a village that's less than 4 square miles. It's 3.7 square miles. And that means for every square mile, there is 45 establishments selling alcohol. To me, that's unacceptable. And having such a high concentration of bars, having and businesses that sell alcohol really undermines the village progress. It contributes to an increase in crime, such as robberies, violent assaults, rape, disorderly conduct, and prostitution. In the last year, each time an application for a new liquor license or renewal has come up, the State Liquor Authority has notified me, and Reggie Lucas has been there with me. And we are the only village in New York State for whom they provide this service. And that is the direct result of my campaign to reverse the trend of making Hempstead known as Bar Central. I have testified successfully in front of the SLA numerous times to ensure that licenses are granted to businesses that will enhance and not negatively impact the quality of life of Hempstead residents. If you own or operate such a business, as long as you have no record of ongoing violations or criminal activities in your establishment, there should be no issue with your having a license, your license renewed. I have and will continue to meet and discuss good business practices with the bar and restaurant owners, because local businesses should enhance residents' quality of life and not destroy it. To better, to improve the quality of life, I have promoted legislation. And one of the legislations that we have promoted is to have our rental registration. And the rental registration would require the landlords to have their apartments inspected every 2 years to make sure that the residents that are in the apartment are under the code of the village of Hempstead. Unfortunately, because the landlords felt that that was infringing on their rights, have taken the village to court, and right now we're in litigation, and we cannot enforce that law. So it's in the court's hand, and hopefully that we will be able to implement that, and I think that will be an enhancement here in the village of Hempstead. We also enhanced the business license requirements and hired a code enforcer, which she's here tonight. She's in the back. And her only job is to go around to all the businesses and to make sure that they are, have a business license and with accordance with the code of the village of Hempstead. Also, we have implemented a cabaret license with the requirement, which gives us the tool to monitor businesses, particularly the ones that mix alcohol and music. As they loosen their cabaret license, and in turn, quite likely will probably lose their business, because if they violate that, we pull the cabaret license, then they won't be able to have the music and dancing anymore. We also adopted a local law, the first in any village or town, in which we require banks and other mortgage holders to put the village on notice if they foreclose on a property. And this way, we can monitor the property, because oftentimes these foreclosed properties start to become in disrepair and making it an eyesore to the neighborhood. We had also implemented several things that improve the quality of life, such as an agreement with North Shore Hospital, emergency ambulance medical service, that is helping our residents, and the average response time with them is 4 minutes, while keeping our police officers on the street. Before, what was going on was when Nassau County Medical Service came in, what they would do is have one EMT person there, and the police officer would have to drive the ambulance, the patient, to the hospital, and that would take our police officers off the street. sometimes for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And sometimes if you get 2 or 3 calls, now you got 2 or 3 police officers off the street, and Lord knows that that Hempstead can't afford to have that many police officers off duty when, in fact, we need them on the street. We also partnered with Nassau County Police and DA to eliminate guns. And back in June of 2012, we collected 90 guns. And we're going to continue to do that. And believe it or not, and some of you probably won't believe this, but the overall crime rate in the village of Hempstead has dropped 80%. And it has dropped 80%. We have installed solar panels at Kennedy Park to cut the energy costs. And we're in the process of looking to install energy saving lights all around the village to brighten up Hempstead, to put in lights where we need to have lights in certain areas. That's in the process of what we're trying to do now. We have also put in the new water meters, and we almost completed that, which accounts for the water usage and tracks people who don't pay. There's a lot of people stealing water out there, and now we know who they are. We had PBA and CSCA contract, we know negotiations, which have saved the village millions of dollars, and we are able to have new employees in the CSCA. They pay for their health insurance, which will, in the future, even save more money for us. And we are seeking from the PBA in pending contract negotiation that same contract agreement to have the new employees that come in to pay into their health care. That will save the village a lot of money going into the future. We implemented payments for the internet using MuniTrack system, and customers now are able to pay 24 hours online with their credit card. And this also will encourage people to pay more. We are about to implement, and I was told by Leo, our superintendent of fire alarm, that this is not a 311 system that we are about to install. Hempstead will be the first village on Long Island to have a Hempstead. He told me to call it Hempstead, or what did he say to call it?
It's a 311 style system, but that's not the number. Don't call 311.
Okay, a 311 style system that you're going to be able to download on your iPhone.
Oh, right. Oh, not iPhone.
And your Android.
All right.
So if you have a complaint about a pothole, you take out your phone like this, and you take a picture, right? And then you just press a button, Hempstead, bam, send it over, and we will be able to report that pothole to the appropriate department. You will get an email back to you saying that we took care of this, and at the end of the month, everything that the village has done, matrix, a measurement tool, you will know how long it took to do potholes, how long did it take to clean up a building, property, to get something graffiti off. You will have that tool at your disposal. So, and this is the day that's coming on March the 1st, and that's Donald's birthday.
I'm a day older than the mayor.
A day, 4 years.
Who's counting?
We have also implemented, and this is something to Reggie Lucas's heart, shot spot. Have you been to the meeting and every meeting that we have, the shot spotter, when you getting shot spotted, we can get shot spotted. Who said that? Reggie said that. Finally, last week, or was it week before last? Week before last, they implemented the shot spotter. The shot spotter, which is a gunshot locator, will be able to zoom in on the exact location where the shot is coming from. That will have the response time, and the police officers will respond much more quickly. I mean, right now, the response time is about 2-3 minutes. It's hard to beat that. But a lot of times, gunshots go unreported. A lot of people don't report gunshots. So every shot that is fired in the village of Hempstead will now be reported. Not only will it be recorded, it will also be surveillance cameras attached to these locators that when the shot go off, not only will the detective detect it, the camera will give the police a real-time view of the person or perpetrator that is committing this crime of shooting. So I think that it's going to be a tool that's going to really help here in the village of Hempstead. And one thing that I will know that we have to have a police force in our village. We have the 3rd largest police force, right, Chief? On Long Island?
We have the largest village police department in New York State.
Okay.
3rd largest police department on Long Island.
The 3rd largest police department on Long Island. And I know that it's essential to have a fully staffed police department. And over the last 3 years, we hired over 20 police officers. And I have and will continue to support a strong, well-trained police department and provide the department with the tools they need to keep our homes and streets safe. And at this time, we have the police department standing in the back. We have the 2 chiefs here. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Well, you guys have done a tremendous job. You people say, appreciate what you've done. We all know that now we, in the last 4 years, have been in a recession. We know that many municipalities have financial problems. We know that many municipalities have laid off union workers. And I can say and stand here in the 8 years that we've been here that we have not laid off any union employee and do not intend on laying anybody off in this village of Hempstead. We've had, in the last 6 years, 6 consecutive no deficits. We have an independent auditor from last year confirmed the 2011-2012 fiscal year had a $2.3 million surplus. Now, that's the surplus. Now, when we took office in 2005, we had a $6.5 million deficit. We had to borrow $4.5 million in order to get part of that deficit off. We still had $2 million after we borrowed that. Because of our fiscal restraints, attrition, cost cutting, we were able to have surplus. In last year's budget, or this year's budget, we took $3.1 million of the surplus. And to balance this 2012-2013 budget so that we could keep the taxes low. And we came in at less than 1% of the tax. Your taxes last year was 0.92, and that was well below the the governor's requirement of a 2% tax cap. And we're going to continue to do that. This year, we are going to come in below or at that 2%. And that's a big deal because I'm telling you, the pension from 2010 to 2012 has jumped from $3 million to $7 million. And with that, you know, that's a lot of money, and the village only, or most of the revenue for the village comes from real taxes, real property taxes. So your taxes for this year is only going to be, it's going to be less than 2%, and that's not a big increase. And under my watch, the village of Hempstead is financially strong and is getting stronger each year. And I'm committed to improving the fiscal health of Hempstead and its residents, and I will continue to always do so by continuing my fiscal recovery plan of expense cuts, debt refinancing, and hiring freezes, among many of our measures. So when we look into the future of Hempstead, my vision has always been, and from the day I was elected, I had said this, that, and many people think I'm crazy, still think I'm crazy, but it's going to happen. That when you drive from Garden City, and when you come into Hempstead, and go out to Rockville Center, you're not going to know the difference.
All right.
You're not going to know the difference. That is one of my visions that we're going to have. And the process starts with our downtown development. Because we know that almost 30% of the property in Hempstead, the village of Hempstead, is off the tax roll. We know that we have many, almost $29 million is lost taxes that we have here in our village. We have to put more property back on the tax roll. And that $10 million of real property taxes that's going to come in, and we are going to stabilize the taxes in here. We're going to make sure that we fight the IDAs about putting pilots here in our village. You know, we had fights with the IDA of the town of Hempstead, and despite our protests, they still gave out pilots. We're not going to stand for that anymore. We're not going to do that. We are against the pilots that they're coming in here, and we're going to fight that. I believe that my vision will be realized because I recognize that the best policy is made when you are listening to people who are going to be impacted. I listen and I respect the opinion of the residents, and as a result, as their leader, I will incorporate their vision with my own for a better village. I believe that the village is ideal for prompting a cool downtown, a place where our young people, my two sons, I would like for them to stay in the village of Hempstead, where families and seniors can reside, while being able to access services, restaurants, and stores within walking distance. Everybody knows that Hempstead has the best multimodal transportation. We have a bus, we have a train, and right there will get you into Manhattan in 45 minutes to 50 minutes. And now that the islanders are leaving, I guess many of you are Islander fans, you can jump on the train and go out to the Barclays Center in 50 minutes. We know that there's people that want to live in Manhattan but can't afford the rent. So we know that there's people that might want to come to Hempstead because they have that ability to get to Manhattan in only 45 to 50 minutes. We know that Hempstead is the hub. Now, I know Tom Swazi called the Coliseum the hub. And I told Tom Swazi that he stole our name. Hempstead is the hub, going to be the hub again, and we're going to make sure that those days of Hempstead being the beacon on Long Island, where people want to come, people want to live, we're gonna make sure that happens again. Because we're all working together with all of you, I know that we can accomplish that. And Hempstead is gonna be that place that people wanna come and live. I believe that my vision will be realized because I recognize that our policy is to work with people in the community and sit down and get that done. I believe that our village is ideal for this cool downtown that we have here. With me at the helm, our board of trustees will provide the leadership while listening carefully and respectfully to all points of view to ultimately set the policy and make decisions based on facts and what is best interest for the entire village of Hempstead. Our employees will serve the public in an atmosphere of courtesy. I know I get a lot of complaints about our employees. We have implemented policies, we have implemented training programs for our employees that when people call and say, I called and somebody hung up on me, or they called and they wouldn't tell me their name. We have done in service, and I have, Lisa Barrington has been instrumental in that. The police department, we have done that, and other departments, we make sure that we have done that. I am fiscally committed, responsible to provide the highest quality of municipal service, consistent with the resources available to us. And I will allocate such resources fairly to meet the needs of the community as a whole, while I recognize that the needs of various segments within our community. I know that when we walk out in the street and we see a lot of people just walking down the street, dropping stuff. Like they don't care, they walk down the street and just drop stuff because they see how the village sometimes looks. We're gonna have to get this program into a cleaner Hempstead by getting the people in our community to take pride. We see other people coming in here, driving through our village, riding in one of those tops with the top down. And they ride and throwing stuff out there. They get in Hempstead, throw it in here. But they ride through Rockville Center, or they ride through Garden City, they don't do that. But as soon as they cross that line over to Hempstead, the girls were sitting in there, they went to McDonald's or something, and they started throwing everything out of their car. Hey, what's up with that? We gotta stop. We ourselves are the ones that do this whole stuff. We have to say, this is our village, this is like my home. When people ride through Hempstead and talk about how dirty it is, and how, that's like talking about coming to my house and saying that your house is dirty. So I take pride in that, and I'm trying to have the code enforcement, we change that law that makes it that you get a summons right now, you get a fine.
Yep.
Instead of getting a violation of notice, say, okay, here, you got 10 days to clean up. No, right now we give you a summons, a fine, and say that you gotta come to court. Does the village look clean yet? No, it doesn't, but it's getting there because the people are starting to get the message that we have to take pride in ourselves, and that's what we're doing. As to economic development, I recognize that the high quality of service that are to a large extent dependent on the large business community, that I will provide and further enhance a strong economic base by encouraging revenue-producing retail, commercial, and industrial development that is compatible with our community. That means that when we do the downtown development, we're gonna have 600,000 square feet of commercial. You know, I always say to myself that what I wanna see in my village is that times that I walk down to Garden City, I walk down on 7th Street, and I see those folks sitting out there, sitting out in the restaurant, sitting on the sidewalk, having lunch. I go sometimes in Brooklyn, and I see the same thing over and over. I know this is what I want to see in my village.
Right.
This is what I want our village. When you walk down the street, when you walk down the main street, you can see people having a great time, people having restaurants, people going into the shop.
Right.
And this is going to happen. And it's going to be a place where, as I said earlier, where people want to come, people will want to live. But I know people saying, oh no, nobody going to come to Hempstead. I know they're not coming. But they're going to come to Hempstead. You know, this is just like people say to me, you know, we don't have any businesses in Hempstead. You know, we don't have, people don't want to come to Hempstead. But we got Staples, we got Home Depot, we got all these others, Stop and Shop. We got Key Food coming in, we got Mercedes-Benz coming in. We just opened up a Sonic car wash. We also have Mim that came in. We have Home Goods, and I see a whole lot of people that don't live in Hempstead shopping here in Hempstead at Home Goods and all these other places. So people are coming. People are investing in our village because they know that Hempstead is the future of Long Island. And they realize that Hempstead is going to be that place where everybody wants to go. It's going to be like we were back in the 50s and 60s, the hub of Long Island. It's going to be that place. And I know we all want a positive quality of life, which provides a pleasing community atmosphere, a level of maintenance of public streets, parks, rights-of-way, and other public facilities that is consistent with the level of maintenance our citizens provide to their property. When I talk about the parks, I think that Lincoln Park is one of the highlights of the village. I think that is a place where, I mean, they got soccer, they got lacrosse, they got football, and they just come, everybody wants to play at Lincoln Park. Am I right, Mateo? They want to play over there, and unfortunately, we can't build another one of those because it costs over $1 million just to get that park up and running. It's a park that's artificial turf. It has nice lights where they can play at night. And maybe what we should do is develop a program to keep the kids off the street at night and have them come to the park. And we're thinking about doing it. Maybe we'll talk to Mateo, we'll talk to the football guys, we'll talk to the basketball guy, Don Ryan, we'll talk to the PTA. Who said PTA? Oh, I thought it was you. I recognize and will continue to promote and respect an individual property's right and vigorously prosecute those whose activities negatively impact the property rights of their neighbors. I will continue to provide quality parks, recreation opportunities, and other information services and senior and youth programs. I will ensure that our village is ready should another emergency like we had in Sandy. And I think that Sandy was a real disaster for us because of LIBOR, the way that they provided the help. So we're going to have to work on that one. I have, and I will continue to promote a positive community spirit and pride in our community. I'm committed to protecting, maintaining, and enhancing the village public infrastructure. We still have 3 or 4 streets being done that we had to stop because of the winter on Bedell Avenue. We didn't do Bedell Avenue because of dawn. Because it really needed to be done. I will continue to educate the community on the village programs and operations as well as their role in the government process. I know that the transparent government, and a lot of people keep saying that we're not transparent, but we are as transparent as you can be, transparent. We want you to see everything that we've done. I have nothing to hide from anybody. My heart is in Hempstead. I've been a Hempstead resident. I've been a Hempstead resident for 35 years. My 2 sons have been living here in Hempstead. They were some years ago. My wife and I moved here in 1978 after graduating from college, York College. Any Yorkies here? You're a Yorkie? And so we moved here, so it was one of those things. One of the things that I want to talk about is, and I always talk about this, but I'm not afraid to tell people about my health, because people always question my health. And I want everybody to know I'm strong and I'm healthy. I'm healthy. And I just want to tell you this story, and you know, I just want to share this with you. When I was 26, and that was almost 40 years ago, on March 2nd, I was diagnosed as having what they call the worst kidney disease ever. It was called glomerular tubular sclerosis. That was a mouthful. The doctor at that time at Brookdale Hospital said to me, Wayne, you know, I really didn't want to tell you this, but you have one of the worst kidney disease that they have. And in 5 years, you will not be here. And back in 1973, which is the year that was, they didn't have all the modern things that they have now where, you know, you take medicine, the dialysis machine, I think, was so big. And so, you know, I'm 26 years old, and I had plans to become a doctor. That's what my thing, my major was biology. But since I was going to die at 31, I had to start partying. So I hung out. And unfortunately, my hangout of the grades wasn't that great. So I did the next best thing. I got my bachelor's in biology, and I worked in the hospital. But the year that I was supposed to die was the year I got married.
All right.
That's when I was 31 years old. And I didn't even think about what this doctor told me anymore. I was just living my life. And finally, after 39 years, when I was 64, the doctor said, Wayne, you know, it's time for you to, you know, come get this shunt, not shunt, but fistula, it's called. I got the fistula, and it was a matter of time before I had to go on kidney dialysis. And the doctor finally knew that it was time for me to go on kidney dialysis when I told him I don't feel like exercising anymore. And he said, Wayne, I've known you for 35 years, or 31 years, and this is the first time you ever told me that you didn't feel like exercising. So by you telling me that, it's time for you to go on dialysis. And I did. And first couple of months was rough, but knowing, being in the medical field and knowing how to deal with all of this stuff, I was able to overcome this dialysis. I live a normal life again. I'm back to exercising, and I tell you, I'm in good shape. I'm in good shape. So, if you ever hear anything about me not being able to function, to run this village because of my health, I'm telling you, don't listen to them. If you look at me and do I look sick? No. I'm training for a 10K race in April. And if anybody wants to run with me, Robert, you run with me. Yeah, Robert sees me in the gym, so he knows I'm in good shape. You see me tall. Now, Ray, you know I don't talk, right? No, funny joke. They used to call me the mayor of the export. And so this lady came up to me and she said, yeah, you the mayor of export. I said, how you know I'm the mayor? She said, I didn't know you were the mayor. I just see you talking to everybody. I was calling you the mayor. I said, I am a mayor. She said, you are? Oh, that's why you're doing all that talk. But I changed my way. I exercised. So I'm in good shape. I just wanted to really bring that out because I know that, you know, during this time of politicking and stuff like that. I just wanted to clear that up, that I'm healthy enough. I will be here running the village. I will be able to run the village. My health has nothing to do with anything else. So if you hear anything otherwise, that's not true. So, lastly, I promise, I do, I really do. And every time I do something, I have somebody handing out some anti-whatever. I promise that I will work my hardest to ensure that all residents are safe in their homes and their neighborhoods, that we will have good food. I'm working with the school board.
Oh, that's what.
They will have good jobs because we are giving people a second chance, and indirectly that will have an effect on the crime rate.
Absolutely.
If we give people that have a difficult time finding a job when they come out of jail,
Right.
finding a job, working, which we have already experimented doing that, they are less likely to go commit a crime. And that will have an indirect effect on the crime rate in the village of Hempstead, believe it or not. It is my goal that the development that we have, and any development that we have in the village, that we are going to get our people first on jobs. Good jobs, not those jobs that pay minimum wage, not those jobs that don't give you benefit. The jobs that will give you a decent salary, a living wage, more than a living wage. We're going to get the unions. I met today with the Federation of Labor, and I had 25 unions there, the plumbers, the builders, the carpenters, everybody there today. And they agreed that they will be committed to our village residents apprenticeship programs that don't just give them jobs, that when they go through the apprenticeship program, they will have a career. They are going to have a real career and have health benefit and work, and this will cut down on a lot of crime here in the village. You know what? I said a lot tonight, and I'm not going to say too much more, but what I'm going to say is that, believe me, I'm going to work because, like I said, I'm not here to make myself rich. I'm not here to have the recognition. If some of you know me, I'm not that person that tries to be known. You don't see me riding around with a driver. You don't see me around with an entourage. Really, I like to be low-key because my job is to improve the lives of you guys, the residents here in the village of Hempstead. And I will continue to be that way. I don't have a big head because I've been the mayor for 8 years. I still I know he wasn't going to say that. So anyway, I want to thank all of you all for listening to me tonight. I wanted to share my health thing with you. I wanted to share my vision with you. I just wanted to talk to you guys. And, for you to come out and see that you're all listening to me, just believe that my heart is in Hempstead.